Hi there. Today's July 16th, 2016, and I decided to film this video today because Facebook so kindly gave me a memory from 2 years ago today. And the memory was something that we posted that totally shocked our friends and family and was completely unexpected. It was the day that we posted the sonogram picture that we were having twins. Now, you may think, okay, having twins is a little bit shocking, but it's not totally unheard of. It happens to people all the time. But the reason that this shocked our friends and family so much, for those of you that weren't around at the time, was because several months earlier, we had shocked our friends and family again by telling them that my husband had quit his job. We were selling our house. I was reducing my hours as an airline pilot. And we were going to take our 8-year-old son and travel around the world for a year. So we pulled him out of school. We had a sale and sold all of our things. The house was under contract, and then we found out I was pregnant. And we thought, okay, no big deal. We can still travel with the baby. We might not be going to like Angkor Wat and Cambodia and Thailand and Fiji, but we can at least still go to Europe and possibly Australia. And then right before the trip was supposed to start, we found out that we were having twins. And it's so funny to remember the reaction of everyone. I think my husband and I are still recovering from the news, even though my twins are a year and a half old now. But the reaction of everyone was kind of like either stunned silence, or they would giggle and say, "What? Are you kidding?" And the reason I tell you this story is to show that like things don't always turn out the way that we think they will. In fact, they rarely do. And I spent the first year that my boys were born just trying to survive, to keep up. And then I decided to quit my airline job, or I prefer retire from my airline job, so that I could be home more and focus on my business, because I had been doing the business, my healing work, alongside the flying, but I knew that 3 balls in the air was too many to juggle. I couldn't take care of babies and fly and focus on my business. So then after that year, I spent the next 4 months or so, up until about 2 months ago, really adjusting to the changes in my life. My life felt kind of out of control. Like I wasn't choosing for me. I was choosing things I had to choose and not that I really wanted to choose. And I realized that's not totally true, but that was just the space that I was in. And for a little while, I had a hard time adjusting. And what I realize now is so often we spend our time focusing on what didn't go the way we planned, or how things didn't turn out the way we thought they would, and we miss what is right in front of us. We miss the gift that maybe the change has created that never would have happened otherwise. My life is much richer now and has taken a completely different direction than it would have taken if I was traveling around the world, obviously. But if I were to look at my life from 2 years ago and compare it to now, it would be very different. 2 years ago, I was traveling all the time for work and for pleasure, and I could go wherever I wanted, whenever I wanted. Just to give you an example from my life yesterday, I decided to meet a friend at the park with the boys, and I got them out of the car, and they both had poopy diapers, so I had to stop and change both of them. And the minute I was done changing them and we went to walk across the park to the playground, it started bucketing down with rain. The one cloud in the sky was directly over us. So we put them back in the car, and we're sitting there, and I'm wondering why. It's really hot out, and I'm wondering why the air conditioning isn't working right. And I look down and I think, oh, I never turned the car on. That was stupid. So I turned the car on, and a couple minutes later, my friend says, that's why the air conditioning isn't working. And I notice that the twin sitting on my lap keeps pushing the start button and turning the car off. So it stops raining, we get out. Now the playground equipment is all wet, and after about 10 minutes chasing these two around the playground equipment, my friend and I are both exhausted and ready to quit and put him back in the car and go home. Now, 6 months ago, that kind of day would have frustrated me. Now, I have a totally different point of view about my days. I set my expectations really low. My only expectation for yesterday was to spend some time with my friend, however that showed up. And it's amazing when I'm not comparing what my life today is compared to what it was 2 years ago. I have much more satisfaction and I'm much happier with it. The period of time when I spent kind of grieving my old life and wanting to go back to my old life and wanting the old life back, wanting things to be the way they were, I was really unhappy. So that's just my way of saying, I guess, a little bit of background story about me if you don't know me or you've come to know me in the last 2 years. And also just my way of saying to you, what if things are turning out even better than you could imagine or even better than you could have planned? And just because it doesn't look the way that you thought it was going to look, what if that's okay? So anyway, give yourself be easy on yourself during the adjustment period, and if you need any help getting through it, feel free to contact me because I know what it's like to go through some unexpected change. But anyway, have a great day.